Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak coming into you live from Ontario, Canada, as your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach. It has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from the mental prison you find yourself in and build a life, a business, and or a career that you are obsessed with, that you cannot wait to wake up to every single day, even if you're tired. Even if maybe you woke up on the wrong side. And this is where I love helping women to get to a place in their life where they're not waking up on the wrong side. They're not waking up feeling like the day's about to get them, that everything already feels out of control, even though the day hasn't even started. So today's topic that I want to talk about on the weekly live story time with myself that I do live on my personal page on Facebook is I want to talk about and share 5 mindset shifts to stop feeling like you're not enough. This narrative that we all are either living with constantly or comes to visit us and says hello, of the not feeling that we are enough, that we're doing enough, that we're not good enough. It's not going to go away if you do nothing about it. It's not going to change if you ignore it and avoid it and just go take a nap or go to sleep and then wake up thinking and hoping that it's just going to go away. It's not going to happen that way. That's wishful thinking. I've done that for long enough to know that it's not going to work. And many women that I work with, they have done that enough to also know that it's not going to work, and even worse, that it actually doesn't even help. Oversleeping does not help. You trying to escape reality and all the different ways that you're trying to escape your own reality is not going to work. It is not going to be something that just a switch goes off and all of a sudden the life that you've been dreaming and hoping and envisioning and visualizing and fantasizing about is going to be right here. It has never happened for anyone, and it's not going to happen. So if you're looking for a quick fix, you're talking to the wrong person. You're listening to the wrong person. I don't recommend quick fixes. I don't give quick fixes. The only quick fix to helping you get helping you to get through whatever it is that you're going through and your emotions are taking over is your breath. That's the only quick fix, which doesn't even feel that quick, that will help you. It'll help you in the moment. It'll help you to get through it, but it's not going to help you to resolve it and solve it. In many cases, you gotta take some serious, consistent action and continue taking the consistent action until and long after you start to feel and notice and benefit from the compounding effects of you taking consistent action. Consistency is going to be the key. So if you're not willing to do whatever it takes consistently, and that means no matter how you're feeling today, you still must do even a tiny little thing that you are supposed to do that will help you to get to where you want to. And that goes for every and any area of your life. If you want to improve your mental focus, you gotta do what you gotta do in order for you to improve your mental focus. Every single day, consistently, even if it's just a little bit. If you want the certain body that you want, you gotta do something every day consistently. Even if today it means that not only did you eat well and didn't allow junk into your body and only consumed food products and liquids that are adding value, benefiting you, not just in the short term, but in the long run as well, that you also do at least maybe a stretch or a few push-ups or a small tiny little exercise. Still do something, a tiny little thing that will help you to stay consistent and build that muscle memory of consistency every single day. If you're working on yourself and you're working on your mindset, as most of you, if not all of you, are, this is something that you not just do once in a while. This is something that you do and you show up for every single day. And when it comes to essentially fixing your mindset or resetting your mindset or rebrainwashing yourself or going into the roots and healing the roots and getting your shit together, there are numerous ways of how you can do that. And this is something that is going to be different for everyone because each and every one of you is a different person. You are unique and one of a kind, that there is no one like you, never has been, never will be. Which means that what works for someone might not work for you. Or it might not work in the same way that it worked for someone else. There's numerous books, there's numerous workshops, programs, courses, quests. There is numerous videos like this, podcasts like this, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, even TikTok. There's so many different platforms. And you got to figure out what makes you tick and what helps you to fix those ticks, what helps you to get closer to that version of yourself that is you. And I definitely recommend following a program, following some kind of a structure to helping you get there. Because if you're doing it on your own, you're going to be all over all of these platforms, all over all of these self-help books and videos and lessons that are going to help you to feel better, but not going to bring you to a very clear goal and destination, such a program will help you to get to. Because someone has been there, done that, and they have put it all together and taken you through it step by step. So now let's talk about these 5 mindset shifts to help you feeling like you are enough, because this is something that is across the board for women and men. We all carry this and we all struggle with it. Some of us, granted, have worked on themselves, on ourselves, that it's not as prominent, it's not as loud as it used to be, but that's the goal, right? The goal is not to completely silence and get rid of that inner voice that keeps telling you where you have the opportunities for growth, because that's what it's really saying. When you're hearing not enough, whatever's in front of or behind it is really what it's saying. You got some work to do. And this is exactly where you got some work to do. So it's either option 1, you ignore it, don't do anything about it. Option 2, pretend like you are and distract yourself and numb yourself in the ways that do help you to escape and avoid dealing with it, but not actually dealing with it. Or option 3, go and do something about it and face the discomforts that it's going to cause you to feel, that's going to bring up for you. So that's the only 3 options that I see. If you see or know any other options, please let me know and share them with me. And at the same time, these mindset shifts, it's not limited to just 5. There's so many more out there. And as I'm sharing them, anything that comes up for you, please share with me. And it's going to not just share with me, you're going to be sharing with others as well. So as they're going through the comments, as there's many people that just look through the comments and learn from the comments as well. I am one of those people as well. I'll look through the comments from the videos I watch, from the lessons I watch, and I learn from everybody else's comments. And I get to know more options even for myself of how to see and perceive things, how to experience and not experience things. Just, it's a different form of knowledge that we get to go through. So, mind shifts. Now, the way that I want to do it is I want to talk about the trigger, the button that was pushed, and then the effect of the button, of the trigger, and then the actual mindset shift. Because if we get right into the mindset shift, it might be like, what's the story? Tell me the story. And this is story time with with me. So let's get into the story. Stories are important, and yet they're not important because they're stories. Stories come and go, and they change and they grow and they evolve and they become different. You are an amazing storyteller. You tell yourself many different stories in your mind, whether you're aware of them or not. So becoming aware of the stories is your golden ticket. Becoming aware of the opportunities for growth and evolution for you as they're coming through, not enough, which is really this. You can do this and you're going to feel great, which means take action or don't take action. That black and white, right? Yin and yang. So, trigger. I'm going to ask as a question first. How often do you compare yourself or realize or catch yourself comparing yourself to other people's achievements, accomplishments, or activities that they're doing? How often do you compare yourself to others? I'll answer that question myself as well. Now, I can't even remember the last time I caught myself or was even comparing myself to anyone. But what feels like not even that long ago, just a couple of years ago, I was comparing myself to everyone. That I saw how much I was a failure, how much I wasn't doing enough and others were, and how everybody else seemed to be living their life and I wasn't. And I honestly really struggled with even wanting to be on social media at all. Whereas now I don't, because I worked on my mind and worked out the kinks. We got kinks in our mind, right? It's all twisted and knotted, and it is twisting us as well, where we're just so uncomfortable in these twists. So as I worked through my kinks and understood what stories I was carrying and where is this not enough opportunity for growth was coming up for me, I dove in to those discomforts and I worked through them. So this is what happens when you feel, and also share with me how you felt, or maybe still catch yourself feeling when you are comparing yourself to others. Let me actually open my Facebook as well, because I'm not seeing comments on here, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are comments. And I like to respond to comments as well. Okay, where am I? Here I am. Here we go. And I don't mute. Okay, so I have that open, so we're good to go. Now, here's how I felt. Completely and utterly inadequate, unworthy, jealous, envious, and full of self-doubt. I didn't believe I could do any of the things that people were doing. I didn't believe I could achieve and experience the things that people were sharing and talk about. Now, it took a moment also to realize that a lot, if not all of the things that were being put out there, especially on the social media, were all fluffed up. Let's put it that way. That someone had a great experience and they wanted to feel even greater about that experience, so they went onto social media and they shared their experience and made it fluffier than it actually was. And then with relationships, you see a lot of couples doing and sharing their relationship online, but would you believe it if I told you that most of those couples that are doing that, they're not actually living their life in that way, that it is all for for publicity, for helping others while they're also struggling with those things themselves. And some of them are working on them while most are not. And also, on top of that, to some of these people, if not a lot of them, it's a business. And when it's a business, you gotta be a great actress and actor. You gotta put on a show. And that's one of the things I also learned, that when I was working at the bank, one of the things that our manager would say is, no matter what's going on in your life, when you're at work, you're at work. And you gotta put on a show, and you gotta be a great actress or actor. So leave your shit at the door, nicely said. And here you got a job to do. A lot of people doing that online, and you wouldn't even know it. And most people might not even be aware of it. And what's even worse, even more people wouldn't even admit to it. There was actually a very interesting show I watched, and it brought up a lot more realizations on top of a lot more questions. But just to sum up what to me was the loudest of the lessons that I was hearing in this show is, there was a family who has a massive company, and they're billionaires. And the product that they were selling was not a good product at all. And there's a couple, the husband and the wife, and the front that they're putting is how happy they are, how much they love each other, and even talking like this while they're really cussing at each other and smiling and saying all these hurtful things as they're smiling. And it's really easy to do that, right? But if anyone heard what they were saying, they would be shocked. And how are you doing that with a smile and saying, okay, I love you, honey, when they really don't, when they really just can't wait to essentially murder each other. And then when there's no one around to watch them or possibly see them, they're at each other's throats and they really hate each other. So I'm sharing this because I want to remind you that the world outside of you that you're seeing is your very own perception. Which means that you can change a perception to make it sense to you and for you, to help you where you are. And I'm not saying it to lie to yourself or use it as a form of avoidance. I'm saying it to help you see the truth and the reality of the external world, not just through one lens, but through other possible lenses. What's another way to look at it? What's another way you're comparing yourself to someone else? And let's say they're going on vacation and they're enjoying their life, and you're really feeling inadequate. Well, what's another way to look at this? Look at the story that you're seeing online. Okay, that's a great way of looking at it. What's another one? What's another one? Come up with 5 different ways, at least 5 different ways to look at that moment that you're comparing yourself. What's another way to look at it? What's the opportunity for me in the midst of this realization that I'm comparing myself and I am feeling inadequate? What can I do about it? What do I want to do about it? Or is it something that I actually do want or not? Yes or no? And then go down that rabbit hole. So, how do you shift this mindset is celebrate uniqueness. Their uniqueness and your uniqueness. You don't have to look at it as, oh, they're probably just lying and faking their relationship and it's not real. It very much might be real. And let's hope it is. I truly hope that everyone is only sharing the truth and the reality and not fluffing it up. That's my hope for everyone. And I know not everyone will be doing that, but I also choose to look at everything and everyone from the positive side. So the positive is they're unique. They're really loving and enjoying their life. And what am I learning from how they're loving and enjoying their life that I would also want to experience myself? That I really would want to. And if I do, okay, let's put it on my list. Let's add it to my goal or my dream list or my to-do list or whatever list that I have. Let's put it on there. Or maybe put a pin in it and it's like, that was fun to watch. That's it. Embrace your own path. And also embrace your own uniqueness. These things online and social media, they're not after you. They're not there to make you feel inadequate, to make you feel bad about yourself. So celebrating somebody else's uniqueness and success is how you free yourself from feeling inadequate, for feeling jealousy and envious and a shit ton of self-doubt. Just celebrate. That's another way of looking at it. That's another lens. Be happy for those people. And yes, it might take practice if you're really inside yourself feeling a lot of these feelings that I've just said. But before you know it, you'll be one of those people that is actually truly happy with everybody else's success and happiness. And it doesn't cause you to feel like you have less. Because when you're experiencing inadequacy, envy, and jealousy and self-doubt, what you're really saying is that you don't have enough of it. So you're speaking from the place of lack, and you will have all the proof and validation through your life and your experiences that your universe will show you that you're right. But when you start celebrating everyone and everything, you'll have more. Because in celebrating, you're saying that there's a lot more for everyone to go around. And it's not limited to this person or that person or these people or those people. It's for everyone to share. And it's great. So recognize also that everybody is on their own journey and that they're different. And the things that they love and enjoy doing are not going to be the same as you, or you would do them in a different way. You would do it your way. And your progress is your progress. The speed that you're progressing and that you're moving through life is your speed. You're not supposed to match anybody else's speed. You're not supposed to go as quick and as fast as you're saying you should be. You're meant to figure out what's your speed for achieving this in your life, for reaching that in your life, for experiencing this in your life or that. and you go at your own speed. Don't rush the process. And everyone's progress is valuable in its own way. Now, the second trigger and mindset shift, and of course, then the effect, which is the emotion, is receiving, I'll call it unsolicited criticism from family or friends, or even from strangers, right? Because we're also going to include social media in this, where people are full of their own opinions, full of their own ideas, and they cannot wait to talk about themselves through the form of their ideas, their thoughts, their self-help tips and tricks. So, how do you feel when you receive this unsolicited criticism from family, friends, or strangers? I know I still do catch myself feeling triggered, but I also now know that the reason why I'm triggered is because one way or another, for one reason or another, they're right. And I got some work to do. And that's why I'm triggered. So instead of reacting, which I'm a human being, still there are moments where I just react. Then I rewind, take a breather, and then respond. And go in and then see what's in it for me. What's the opportunity for me to become a better version of myself because someone is brave enough to say something to me to my face. So thank you for being brave enough, because most people will not. Most people won't even tell you got something in your teeth because they're not brave enough. It means that they're uncomfortable, they're scared, and they're not willing to step into or step over that fear and discomfort. But there are other people who are brave enough, who are there to really come from a place of I love you, I care about you, and they will tell you these things. Yes, granted, they could do it in a nicer, more gentler way, but they have their ways. And you have your ways. And yes, you want people to change because it'll be easier for you. But if you focus on yourself and working on yourself, then you'll also learn to not care so much of the delivery of the message, so much so than the actual message itself. Sounds like my dog wants to go to the bathroom, but she's gonna have to wait because she likes to run back and forth to let me know that she has to go to the bathroom. Okay, so this is where I would feel low self-worth, low self-esteem, and second-guessing myself, where I thought I worked on this, but I didn't. And clearly I didn't do a good enough job. So, like I said, this is where the shift is. Filter that feedback. Filter it in the way of what's the actual feedback there. They might have used some colorful examples or stories or language, but you got to filter that out and take that personal, that you feel like the personal attacks on you out and see it for what it is, what the opportunity in this message for you. Recognize the constructive feedback as growth and use it as fuel for your growth as well. And remind yourself that everybody is entitled to their opinion, just like you. And if it doesn't align with your goals and your dreams and your truth, then you don't have to hear it. Now, the next one would be struggling with perfectionism at work or at home. So it's normal for all of us to want to be perfect, to do better. But then what happens is that when you're trying to be perfect, trying to do perfect, you're going to procrastinate because fear of failure can take over, and you will find yourself in burnout by even just procrastinating and not doing what you want to do. So the shift would be embracing, this is good enough. That I don't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be ideal. This is enough. This is good enough. I am enough. I am good enough. I am doing enough. And set realistic standards, because maybe your standards are also not realistic right now. Or maybe there's somebody else's standards that have been given to you and you took them on as yours, and now you're sitting and feeling inadequate. And recognize that your progress is your progress. Going at your own pace, going and making decisions as well at your own pace, and maybe even checking to see if it is unrealistic expectations. Maybe it's also unrealistic steps that you're taking. That maybe the step that you're expecting yourself to take is too big, that it's a little bit too much right now. And maybe you're trying to complete something, but realistically, it's not the completion that you're trying to experience and do. It's the experience itself. Now, another one would be feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, where you have so much on your to-do list, on your to-be list, on your dream list, on your goal list, and all these different lists, and it feels like so much. Of course, then you're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel inadequate. You're going to feel like you're unable to focus because there's just so much. So, what do you do in that moment? Is you actually prioritize your self-care. What do you need right now to calm yourself, to center yourself? See self-care as a non-negotiable for you. You gotta do that every single day. And there's many different ways and forms of self-care. And you gotta play around with them and figure out which one is for you. Which one do you want to and would love, enjoy doing every single day? And then do that. Yeah, my dog needs to go to the bathroom. Bahiti, wait! Let me wrap this up quickly. And you gotta align everything with your own needs and your own values. And when it comes to the responsibilities, see what you can delegate as well on top of that. You're not responsible for everything and for everyone. And expecting yourself to be is also unrealistic. Now, the last one I want to talk about is receiving little to no recognition or validation from others. We do need that. We do want that. And if you say you don't, you're just lying to yourself. All of us want to be seen. All of us want to be heard. All of us want to be recognized and validated. It's human nature. And if you say you don't, then maybe you're not a human. But we all want that and need that. Now, the problem might be is that, and this is what I recognized with myself as well, is that the list of people that I needed it from and that I expected it from was really long. So I shortened it, and it made all the difference in the world. So maybe make a list of all these people that come to mind that you need even just a little bit of validation or recognition from, and work through that list one by one and releasing and letting go of them. So you no longer need that from them. Yeah, it'll be great if you get it, but if you don't, it doesn't matter. And it's not wishful thinking. It's not hopeful thinking. It's not just you write the name, cross it off, and you're good. It goes beyond that. Most of you already have ways to do that. And if not, reach out to me and I can see how I can help you with this one. But how you feel is lack of motivation and low self-esteem. Unseen, unheard, and even unloved. Now, the shift is the only person you truly want most of your validation to come from and recognition is yourself. Yes, there are other people, but you're not always going to get it, and you're also not always going to get it in the way that you want it, or in a timeline you want it as well. So give yourself that validation. And if the other person gives you that validation or that recognition, great. And if not, that's okay. Next time they will, right? There's always next time. And perhaps also checking, are you trying to get it on your timeline, or are you okay with somebody else, with that person giving you that support, that validation, that recognition on their own timeline and not on yours? Checking yourself in that area as well. And also define your worth internally by creating a list of what you value about yourself and celebrate small wins independently. And you have small wins every single day. You have a small win, write it down. You have another small win, write it down. Celebrate it, celebrate it. You can't expect everyone around you to see those wins and celebrate them for you or with you. Even the big wins. Some people don't even recognize the big wins. If you want someone to celebrate with you, invite them in your celebration, and not by guilting them. That's not gonna work. That's just going to potentially make a fight out of it. You want them to want to be there and celebrate it with you. So figure out what that looks like and sounds like for you. Now, I just want to go through the comments quickly. Rebecca says, yep, I can relate to self-doubt and comparison. Yep, it's normal human nature as well. We will compare ourselves, but we can compare ourselves in a negative way, or we compare ourselves in the way of, you see something, let's say on social media, and you're no longer really comparing, even though it is comparing, because you're comparing, okay, this is where they are and this is where I am. But there's no negativity in that exchange. It's just, this is where they are. What would I love from where they are and what they're experiencing? And then how can I have some of that as well? Because I know there's a lot of it available. So it is comparison, but in a positive way, where you're more so seeing the opportunity in whatever the universe put in front of you. And then doing that. And then Rebecca says, my friend said something profound. Stop waiting for this or that. Just go out and live your life. Exactly. Do you know how many people are waiting to live their life? And how many people are on their deathbeds, recognizing that they've waited their whole entire life to live their life, and waiting for some invisible being to come and give them permission, when they realized at the end of their life that they didn't need it or care from anyone, because that's not what matters. But in the moment, that's what matters. So if you're not living your life, make a list of how you would like to make a life, how you would love to live your life. And then also make a list of what is getting in the way of each one. It might be me. And usually it will be part of that, but it might be something else. So what do you want? Why do you want it? What's getting in the way? And then where are you going to be after you have experienced that thing you want, how you're living your life? It's as easy as that, but at the end, there's only one thing that's in the way. You. That internal you that you're trying to silence and shush all the time, because the truth of what she's saying to you hurts. And you don't want to hear that. And you maybe don't want to deal with it, or maybe not ready. Or maybe you are, and it's still telling you there's more work to do. So that's all I want to share. Thank you everybody for being on here. I hope this was helpful for each and every one of you. Looking forward to hearing what came up for you the loudest. And feel free to share any of your own mindset shifts as well, with what the trigger was, and maybe the feeling and the emotion that came up, and then how to shift it as well, or just the mindset shift itself. Otherwise, I will see you all next week for another one of these story time with myself, Yana Kasperczak, at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time on my personal page on Facebook, or maybe see you tomorrow on the Heal Unicorn podcast that Bethany and I live stream into the Facebook group, Heal the Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. Come check it out. See if that's the group you're looking for, a community of like-minded women who are in their healing and spiritual growing journeys. Or maybe I will see you in our quest that we are now on our second week in the group of Imposter Banishing Quest. So wherever I'll see you next. Have an amazing the rest of your day. And that's it. Thank you, everyone. We'll see each other soon. Bye.